What is emotional meditation? Do you want to have some control over your negative emotional reactions? Emotional meditation is a type of meditation that we can use to cut an emotional reaction in half if we're stuck in a cycle of negativity. Now, before explaining the actual technique, we need to understand a bit of the theory. Our emotional cycle can be described as having two components: thoughts and emotions. We have a thought or a pattern of thoughts that kicks off a reaction in the body, and we feel that as positive or negative. That's the emotion part. And if we're talking about negative emotions, then it's a physical feeling in the body that feels bad. Have you ever tried to find that feeling? The first step to emotional meditation is to find our emotions. Where are they located in the body? Next time you have an emotion like anxiety or anger, or perhaps you're grieving, where is the emotion? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your chest? Is it in your head? Is it in your fingers and toes? What you'll find is that all our negative emotions will be felt the strongest, roughly in a band that goes down the front of our torso. For example, some people feel anxiety in the stomach area or the chest area. Anger is usually felt in the face area. Go and prove this for yourself. You don't feel frustration in your knees, do you? The epicenter of the emotion is somewhere down this strip always. Now, in self-healing, we focus more on the negative emotions because that's what we're trying to fix. But you can also do the same with positive emotions. Go and find them. Where are they? The positive emotions are slightly harder to find because they feel lighter and thinner. But you can find them, and what you'll find is they tend to be felt higher up. In fact, sometimes they can almost feel outside yourself. They're uplifting. Now, what do you do with them when you find them? Well, first of all, let's go back to the emotional cycle and add a couple of steps. As you can see in this diagram, there is a trigger that starts our thinking patterns. The trigger originates outside of us, perhaps something in the external conditions of our lives, in a family life, in social life, in work life. That activates the production of emotional energy. That emotional energy circulates around our energy body until it finds the right chakra that it's coded for. Then it activates that chakra, which then activates the emotional reaction in the material body. That involves the endocrine system and the limbic system in the brain. That emotional reaction is what we feel consciously, and it's that which activates more of the thinking patterns, and we go around and around and around. So what is emotional meditation? Well, the first step in meditation is to understand the concept of the subject and the object. Now, learning meditation will be another set of videos, mind you, so leave a message in the comments saying meditation if you want another video on the journey of meditation. But basically speaking, meditation is focusing your mind on one thing, which we call the object of meditation, and keeping the focus there for a length of time. In emotional meditation, we make the emotion the object of meditation. That means that you have to go and find the emotion in the body and focus all of your attention on it. You have to focus like you've never focused before. Don't let anything come into your mind. Chase all thoughts away and just keep your focus on that one sensation in the body. I know it hurts, but it can't harm you. Keep your focus on it. Bring it closer. Make friends with it. This can be difficult at first because, first of all, you have to become aware the minute you're having an emotional reaction. Sometimes it's only afterwards that you realize. It's possible to lose the plot a bit during a bout of emotional reactivity. So you have to practice awareness in the moment. Secondly, sometimes it can be difficult for people to bring the emotion close to them like that. It can be quite scary to face our emotions sometimes, especially if we've been running away from them for some time, or if there's some trauma locked away in the mind. Now, if there is some serious trauma in your past, then we would always advise you to seek professional help to do this. You're not alone. There are loads of people out there to help you. Now, that leads me nicely onto the idea of repression. When dealing with our emotions, we want to make sure that we're not repressing the emotion. Repression is when we run away from the emotion. We don't allow ourselves to feel the emotion. We all know what this feels like, or we know someone that does it. If someone just refuses to talk about an emotional issue, or they run away from you or themselves, or they distract themselves with something else to stop them feeling it, then it's likely they're repressing the emotion. And it's well known that when you bottle things up, they're going to come back at you in a big way at some point. Now, what happens in the energy body during repression is that these chakras are holding on to negative emotional energy. It's what causes blockages in the first place. And chakras are like grenades, and a blockage is going to cause an explosion. When a chakra explodes, you'll feel an extreme and overblown emotional reaction. So going back to the diagram, what emotional meditation does is that it cuts the emotional cycle in half because it stops the thinking processes of the mind. If the mind's not thinking, it can't activate any more emotional energy, and so the chakras stop activating the emotion. The other good thing it does is that it stops you from repressing the emotion because you are allowing the emotion to flow. You're not stopping the energy. You're not running away from it. You're bringing it closer to you, in fact. You allow yourself to feel it in the most intimate terms. You're facing your emotion. So the result is that you cut the cycle in half and the reaction vanishes. Now, it may take some practice, but the emotion will disappear eventually. Now, this may seem difficult at first, but don't worry. The more you practice, the more it becomes a habit in itself, and then the easier it becomes. Eventually, you'll be able to completely dissolve your emotion even before it sets in. Now, lastly, I want to mention that there is a fuel to this emotional cycle. The fuel is karma emotion. Karma emotion is a transport system to our emotional memory that we carry around with us over many incarnations. Have you ever felt an emotion or have a personality characteristic that you can't for the life of you see where it came from? There's just no trace of it in this life. That may be well part of your karmic personality spectrum that you've dragged through into this life. So if the emotional cycle has a fuel, we might as well call it the karma emotion engine cycle. Now let me know if you want a video on that. Now don't forget to like, share, repost, follow or subscribe if you want more videos like this, and it helps us grow. So see you soon.